Redemption maybe for Bradley Gunyon, who led off offensively for his California 57 team and now has a chance to return the favor and strike out Mirabella.
You know what? Did you see the superstition right there? Has a hole in his batting gloves?
Yeah.
It could be true, but it could also be good parenting. Maybe his parents told him, hey, that's good luck. Roll with the batting gloves because they just didn't want to buy him a new pair.
Trey Halaska, the shortstop, leads off for Florida. And takes a breaking ball for strike one.
They may know something about this leadoff hitter that we don't know about. The fact he started with a breaking ball right there.
And a miss of the zone. Low, it's 1-1. Rips it back into the backstop. And he's got 2 strikes.
Letting his teammate on deck know what the fastball looks like. It's very, what you see when you get a little bit older is when you get a chance to hit before some of your other guys, your job is also to relay that information to your teammates, give them the best opportunity to be successful.
1-2, laced right back up the middle. And it's a leadoff single for Halaska.
Batting second for the Southeast, number 3, Roman Mirabella.
Yeah, really good adjustment. The pitch before he takes a really big swing, shortens up the swing right there, gets what looks like a slider up in the zone, doesn't try to do too much, just shoots the ball right back up the middle for a leadoff single.
First pitch to Mirabella, and it's a 1-0. Pickoff move. Halaska back in time. Another try, and again he's back.
Yeah, I wonder how much these guys were watching the first game today. There was a ton of stolen bases. It's very interesting to see early in the game, do they kind of get the nerves going a little bit? Do they try to be aggressive? We saw in game 1 today, the international game, they started running a lot later in the game. Early, they were playing a little cautious, but as the nerves kind of went away, they started kind of running a lot. It's interesting to see what Florida does here.
Pickoff move number 3.
And reminder, there is no pickoff rule. They can pick over as many times as they want.
Swung on and out of play. So now it's 2 balls and 1 strike for Mirabella. It's away. Halaska to second, runner in scoring position with a 3-1 count.
Yeah, sometimes even the thought of a stolen base will make the pitcher change his tempo, meaning he tried to slide step there because of the aggressive leaves at first base. It becomes a little bit harder to execute your pitch. It leads to a wild pitch right there.
Mirabella rips it down the line in right. It's down for a hit. He rounds and heads to second. It drives in a run, and he helps his own cause an RBI double, 1-0 lead for Florida.
So far, he's doing it all. 2 strikeouts to start the inning and takes a really tough pitch up and in. Doesn't try to do too much. Gets on top of it, hits it down the line for an RBI double. Gets the scoring started.
Anthony Cruz now ducks out of the way. Mirabella slides in safely at third. Got a great jump on it. We talked about it earlier this morning. Very short backstop. So you got to be careful on those advancements, because a lot of the time it can come right back to the catcher.
Yeah, not only do you have to be careful as the base runner, you have to be very aware as the catcher. You have to understand that the backstop's not very far. If you get a good jump at the ball right there, there's probably going to be a play at third base. This ball just seems to get away from him. You see how quickly he got the ball? Immediately his thought should be he's going right there. The fact that he got to the ball so quickly, took that moment to maybe process what was going on, was the reason he was safe at third base. Understanding the backstop depth is really important for the catcher, much like understanding your positioning in the field, whether you're an infielder or outfielder.
So a quick visit for the California 57 defense. Want to know the count to Cruz. Line drive into right field, and it's
Now batting for the Southeast, number 1, 3 bits.
called strike. Now 0-2 to Bree Bitts.
Let's go, Mama, let's go.
Gunyon. Ball. With a miss inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
It takes high, 2-2.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those off-speed pitches up in the zone right here. In order for him to be effective, he's going to need to start missing down with those off-speed.
It's lines it foul, and she keeps her 2-2.
And sometimes it's hard to make that adjustment when you're on the mound. Sometimes you need your catcher to give you a different visual. When I'm throwing the off-speed, get the glove a little bit lower towards the dirt so my eyes pick it up and I finish the pitch a little bit better.
Good take inside. Now it's a full count.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Right to the third baseman, and Muir pulls it in for the out.
Really good at bat from Bree right there. Going from 0-2 to 3-2, fouling off a couple pitches, hitting a hard line drive at the third baseman.
Now 2 away, J.J. Gardner, the batter for Florida. Big swing at it.
On deck that I was going to let this first pitch. He flew here dreaming about that moment. I'm swinging at that first pitch.
Lays off and makes it 1-1 there. Now 2 balls and 1 strike.
2 balls, 1 strike.
I'm even more confident in my statement now. The fact he's gotten to 2-1. He knew I flew a long way. I'm getting this swing off my first pitch.
There's another hack. And it's 2-2. Seven. You can follow the amazing kids as they experience their own Little League World Series adventure. Download the Little League World Series app and watch highlights, look at photos, schedules, and more. It's available in the App Store for Apple and Android devices. Roman Mirabella has been filthy, for lack of a better way to put it, so far for Florida. He gets a first pitch swing and miss from Caleb Capatente. And a called strike there to make it 0-2.
When you're throwing strikes and you're around the zone, hitters have to go up there ready to swing. And then when you start to expand off of that, it's very difficult for hitters.
There's a chase and a swing and a miss for strike 3. To your point.
Yeah, you could just tell he's got a really good feel for pitching right there. He's got that traditional sweeper grip from that sidearm action. I keep referring to Chris Sale because there's one Chris Sale in the world. There might be a second one. We're watching him right now. But to be a tall, lengthy lefty throwing from that arm slot, it's very difficult in these hitters.
Slow developing play over at third, but a strong throw. Tyson Goss gets it across.
And a really nice play right there by the third baseman, having to come in, charge that, uses two hands for the quick release and a strong throw to first base. As great as strikeouts are, getting one pitch outs is also very, very great for a pitcher, especially when you're up against kind of a pitch threshold in this tournament.
He's already got two away. This is his sixth pitch of the frame, and it misses inside. Way out in front. Swing and a miss for Vu.
I mean, at this point, he's got 5 strikeouts, but he's got 35 pitches through 3 innings. That's just being very effective.
And a swing and a miss. High fastball, quick work, and the 5th strikeout for Mirabella. 3 up, 3 down as he heads back to the dugout.
Good adjustment right here, getting ahead, but it's very important now if you're going to try to put him away with off-speed pitch, you got to miss down in the zone.
Foul ball on 0-2.
That ball is still a little bit up. That's why he's able, even though it's off the plate, the fact that it's up in the zone allows the hitter to be able to reach out there and foul it off. If that pitch is down in the zone, more than likely it's a swing and miss.
The other way, and a leaping catch at first base for the out. Ethan Lee left his feet, and you thought maybe the hang time would get the better of him, but he's got some hang time of his own.
I thought the hitter did a really good job fighting off this fastball inside. I thought he had enough on it, but just tremendous athleticism and timing at first base right there. He gets that at the very top of his leap, saves a leadoff runner from getting on base.
A tremendous play for the first out. And 2-0 the count to Chase Eichhorn.
I love watching a player in the field after they make a tremendous play. He's moving around, his heart's beating fast. He's dreaming of this moment for a long time. He can't sit still right now.
Yeah.
He's like, did I just do that? Was that on TV? Am I going to see that later? What an incredible moment for him.
Four straight balls, and Eichhorn walks. So that gets it back to the top of the order. Trey Halaska singled his first time up. That led off the game, and he was the first of 3 runs to score for Florida in the first.
Ball.
You know, despite the deep counts to recent hitters, that was Gunyon's first walk.
Yeah, as a pitcher, you kind of have this mentality of bend, don't break. And the fact that he has had a lot of 3-ball counts, he's been able to execute pitches when he needs to. In a format like this where you have these rules in place to protect the young arms of these athletes, it's important to be efficient with your pitches.
Gunyon also crossing the 50 pitch threshold.
Yeah, for 50 pitches, that requires 2 days off in between times that you can get back on the mound. And as we saw earlier, we saw a team in South Korea, when those guys got up to 20 pitches, they were rotating through pitchers. Then we saw Australia kind of implement a little bit different strategy. This is something either you're using your eyes that let you know how your pitcher's feeling, how he's commanding the zone. And then there's some teams that come in with an idea that, hey, if we get up to 20 pitches or we get up to 35 pitches, you know, we want to have these guys available for the next game.
Swung on into the air, center field, out from shortstop, a sliding grab. Bryce Deniche.
Once again, a breaking ball up in the zone, but up enough, hard to get on top of that pitch, and a really, really nice play by the shortstop. Going back, being very aggressive, going into a slide right there, knowing the center fielder was coming in to try to make a play as well.
So a couple of impressive defensive plays, and then a successful pickoff gets California 57 out of the frame. 3-0 Florida's lead through 3 innings in our first U.S. game at the Intermediate Baseball World Series. That's Roman Mirabella. He was stellar through 3 innings on the mound. He's now out in center field. And as a reminder, he's likely being pulled because he was shy of that 35-pitch threshold. And therefore will only require 1-day rest. So now Trey Halaska, the new pitcher for Florida.
You know, as a fan of the game, I'd love to see him keep pitching, but as a dad myself and someone that's played at the highest level, it's the right decision. Keep this kid healthy. I've seen a lot of young kids at this age. What he was doing on the mound is very unique. His arm angle, his command, his poise, his ability to manipulate the ball, he's got a bright future.
And they're trying to make sure his future remains bright for this week as well, assuming their ultimate goal of continuing to win games. And it is not the last time we will see him on the mound here in Livermore. 1-2, wave and a miss, gets Hayden Johnson. First strikeout for Halaska.
Once again, the importance of being around the zone, throwing strikes, getting ahead, because then you can go upstairs with the fastball. You have the hitter on his heels, chases up in the zone, but really well executed four-seam fastball at the top of the zone.
Wes Cook now the batter. First pitch on the ground to second. 2 down.
Again, continue to throw strikes. Allow your defense to play behind you. Strikeouts are great, but 1 pitch, 1 outs are even better. It allows you to stay in this game, pitch a little bit deeper. Definitely helps out your coaching staff in having to make tough decisions.
That was Asher Morales at second. Bree Bitts has moved from second to shortstop. First pitch, little flare down in right center field. Gunyon with a hard round at first, but thought better of it. Keeps it at a single.
Really good job and adjustment by California. If Florida is going to continue to be in the strike zone, you need to go up there and be aggressive. Once again, fastball, middle of the plate, does a good job trying not to do too much, stays inside of it. Single with 2 outs with a chance to maybe extend this inning, score their first run of the tournament.
Gunyon back to the bag safely. And again. Bennett Humphreys, the batter, he's the center fielder for California. Hit a fly ball to left his first time up. Looks at a strike.
And when you have a guy on the mound like this that's in a good rhythm, sometimes you have to change up that rhythm when you're the guy on base. Whether you're going to steal or not, you have to make it appear like you're going to steal. Try to get him out of his rhythm. Make his focus be on you at first base.
Close pickoff move.
But if you aren't going to steal, don't get picked off.
Yeah.
Make it appear, but you got to be one-way lead, meaning most of your weight is going to be leaning back towards first base.
0-1. Runner went, but it's fouled into the fencing and the backstop. That one surprised me. As you were talking about it, I was looking at the runner, Gunyon, and up until the moment he took off, he had his hands on his knees, which seemed like maybe...
It's not the most ideal running position, but maybe he was trying to deke him. Maybe he was trying to appear like he wasn't going to go. Or maybe that's his comfort. That was a really good move. When you watch him dive back to first base and he can't really get his arm extended, it's an indication that you're a little bit too close to the base. Ideally, when you dive back, you'd like to have your arm extended to the base.
Humphreys leaves it upstairs. One and two from Halaska. Misses the zone. Runner goes and beats it. So Gunyon steals second.
Sometimes stealing a base isn't so much about the jump or the lead, but it's also understanding pitchers' tendencies. He had thrown a fastball up in the zone. He picks the right pitch in a curveball. Typically, the curveball takes a little bit longer to get there. He picks the right pitch, is able to steal that base pretty easily.
Two and two count, 2 outs. Runner now in scoring position. And a timeout called at the plate.
It's a good job by the batter right here. We talked about wanting to kind of change up the pitcher's timing. Sometimes you're going to have to get ready. Pitcher holds on you a little bit longer. You have to understand it's on your timing too. You call time, step out of the box, reset.
Alaska sends it into the backstop. And Gunyon from second to third on the wild pitch.
Yeah, that ball just kind of got away from the pitcher right there. We talked about potentially changing up the timing of the pitcher, being a little bit more aggressive on the base pass.
Full count pitch from Halaska. Ripped into center field. It drops in front of Mirabella and is an RBI single for Humphreys.
Really nice piece of hitting right here. Gets on top of this fastball on top of the zone. Solid line drive right up the middle. Scores their first run of the game. This inning all started 2 quick outs, 0-0 count, fastball, base hit, where typically you go up there, be a little bit passive, but the fact they've been around the zone so much, California stays very aggressive at home plate. Then once they're able to get a base runner on, they're forcing the pitcher to throw over a ton. They steal a base. They get a wild pitch, advance to third base. They're trying to force the action here a little bit.
It's a miss high. Charlie Muir, the batter, he struck out looking his first time up. That was against Mirabella.
I think this is a good mound visit by the manager right here, probably talking opposite of exactly what I'm talking about right now. Don't be so concerned about the runner. Even if he steals second base right here, if you get this guy out in the box, they don't score another run. Sometimes you put a little bit too much focus on holding the base runners, especially with 2 outs. Because if you get that batter out, it doesn't matter how many bases the guy steals. So he's probably going out there reminding him, let's focus on home plate. Let's get this batter out. What the guy does at first base doesn't matter.
Seemed like a pretty lighthearted visit.
As it should be.
Arms around his guys, a couple of pats on the top of a hat or a helmet. Now the 1-0. And it's a line drive into right field. A diving effort pops out from Anderson's glove. And everybody's safe. Humphreys on his horse from first to third. Muir is at first.
They say hitting is contagious, and that's what we're seeing from this California lineup. And once again, Florida is doing a great job.
Likely going to get warmed up so that he can pitch. Bouncer foul makes it 1-2 for Lee.
There he goes. It's going down to the bullpen.
Nice to have that kind of versatility. You got a right fielder that almost made a web gem out there for you, coming back into the infield to play first base.
It's my favorite thing about this tournament. You don't just have second baseman or shortstop. You just have baseball players. You put them out there, they rotate positions, they all pitch. Right fielder gets a fresh count to lead off the next inning.
Runner took off again, and again it's fouled. So Morales keeps his 0-2.
These kids are young. I expect him to get back to first base, get his lead, and probably go again.
Hey, let's go. Come on, Sully.
Oh, and 2 to Cooper Sullivan is taken. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. The ground ball to first his first time up. Off the handle, weak ground ball, Bitts from short, has to come up and get it, and there's no play.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough play for any shortstop right there. The grass is a little bit thick. He doesn't hit the ball very hard. Ends up being a really slow roller. The only play is to be perfect on that exchange right there. As soon as you have any little bit of bobble, the runner's going to be safe. The only other thing you could do right there is barehand it, and everything has to go perfect. The bare hand has to be perfect. The grip has to be perfect. The throw has to be perfect. You know, sometimes you can hit a ball really hard in this game and make an out, and sometimes you can hit a ball right off your knuckles and get a hit. That's why baseball is a crazy game.
So now we're going to swap some gloves, as it looks like Anderson is going to move from first base as part of a pitching change here. California District 57.
Got to take the arm sleeve off the pitch, though.
Now Trey Halaska, who started at shortstop, goes back to short. Down into the dirt. And the check of the swing over at first base. Call is that Denish went.
That's a tough break right there. As a hitter, you want it. As a pitcher,
runner took off. Denish hit by the following pitch. So they're going to be at first and second. So the check swing doesn't really matter now.
No, the check swing doesn't matter. But what does matter is getting that leadoff guy on base. We've seen once base runners are on, the chaos that they can cause, even without running, forcing the pitcher to pick over, has taken a lot of these pitchers out of their routine a little bit.
Cruz is just off the plate, 1-0. Jackson Bonos is the batter. Favorite video game, MLB The Show. We see a lot of that here too, right? Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Kids like baseball.
If they're going to play a video game, that's a great one to play.
Yeah.
Right there, hold.
Lifted into left field, but foul. Manos just a little bit ahead of that one.
It's exactly what you want to do with a fastball. When you're up in the count, you don't want to be late. If you're going to foul it off to your pull side. It's okay to be out in front of that pitch a little bit. As you start to get deeper in the count, you want to start backing the ball up a little bit. But when you have count leverage, don't be afraid to get the bat out there. Try to drive one to your pull side.
Right there, hold.
1-1 is outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Hold.
3-1 now to Manos.
Right now, if you're Florida, you just got to take a deep breath. When you're on the mound, trust your defense, throw strikes. Last thing you want to do is get free passes right now. I know you're worried about that runner. When a runner's at second base, the middle infielders can also be the guy that keeps the runner close. If he stands behind him, the runner's going to stay close. You can pay a little bit less attention to him, focus a little bit more on the hitter.
There's ball 4, though. It loads the bases. So it's an infield single, a hit batter, and then a walk.
And I know ideally you don't want to walk the bases loaded, but the fact that the runners really can't go anywhere, he's not really going to steal home right now. This is your opportunity as the pitcher. The catcher goes out there and probably lets him know these base runners aren't going anywhere. It's me and you. Focus on the glove. We're going to get through this together. Just execute one pitch after another.
And a change in the field as Charles Graff is sent out to right field. Tyson Goss jogging in, so I'd imagine he is getting set to be the next pitcher or one of the next pitchers. And now here comes a visit to the mound, so maybe that change is going to happen pretty quickly.
We love talking about kind of the interesting strategies with these tournaments. You had a guy on the mound starting this game that was just mowing down the hitters. He was in complete command, but you also have to understand how the tournament works, the rules in place. Do you want to have 1 day off, 2 days off? That's what makes a tournament like this very interesting. Because more than likely, if that rule didn't exist, we'd probably still see the same guy on the mound. But rules do exist, so there's a lot of strategy that goes in.
Caleb Competente, the batter with the bases loaded, watches it through as it is strike 1. He struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Yanks it foul, and it's quickly 2 strikes.
And if you notice the infield alignment right here, the third baseman is playing on the grass. More than likely, if he gets the ball, he is going to come home. The first baseman has a choice. He is playing in front of the runner, not necessarily because he wants to cut off the run, more because it's just a better visual for him.
Foul tip, strike 3, so that's the first out. Doesn't really change what you're saying about how you're going to defend this next play.
Yeah, it was a filthy pitch, but it looked like the hitter was trying to call time right there. He wasn't granted time, which the umpire has to grant you time. You can't just ask for time. He looked like he got caught in between. Regardless, really well executed pitch right there and a much needed first out.
Quick trot out by the catcher.
Come on, guys, come on.
Yeah, there he was asking for time. Didn't get it.
Which is the right call by the umpire. As a hitter, you're very upset about it, but the pitcher had already started his windup. It's hard to have him stop his windup because you're calling for time. And the better way to say it is you're asking for time. You, as the player, cannot call for time. You need to ask the umpire to call for time. Just a very unfortunate situation for the batter right there.
1-0 to Amari Solomon. Called strike.
And you've seen a different kind of mentality with the pitcher now. We mentioned the bases being loaded. There's no threat of the stolen base. He's not even looking at the base runners.
Foul ball, strike 2.
It is an important part of the game. As you get older, when you start to lead off, you get steal bases. It is important to control the running game and being able to pick off and change your timing and tempo. But the most important thing is throwing strikes.
Outside and into the backstop. Here we go. Play at the plate. And the throw back not in time. Sullivan scores. The others advance as well, so it's second and the third with one away.
You see this all the time. You're executing pitches and you feel the need to try to do it a little bit more. This one just sails a little bit too far outside. Very tough play for the catcher. California now has runners at second and third.
Big swipe at it for Solomon. And it's strike 3, 2 down. So Cruz has now fanned consecutive batters and is trying to strand a couple in scoring position and keep it a 2-run lead.
Really good use of that curveball right there. Really, really late movement right there. Starts out as a strike, moves off the plate. Really tough for the batter to lay off right there.
And a timeout called by Florida for maybe an adjustment of the communication device.
I didn't know they had it at this level. I assume they were using fingers, and every once in a while we have this angle from center field, and I haven't really seen him putting down signs, but I guess more than likely it's probably coming from the dugout. I'm assuming the coach is calling pitches, the pitcher can hear it, the catcher can hear it, but I had no idea that they were using that at this age.
Quick pinch runner for California here. As the last out, Amari Solomon heads to second base to replace Jackson Manos, the catcher. Throw back to the mound, taken advantage of. Denish slides in safely. California's got it within 1.
Wow, wow, wow. What an aggressive play by the runner at third base right there. That is just heads up base running. A lot of times, pitcher and catcher are gonna fall into a pattern. Pitch, catch, throw the ball back. The runner at third base understands the catcher is just kind of throwing the ball back, being a little bit methodical, being very routine, takes advantage of that.
Pitch misses for a 2-1 count to Zach Vu. Vu with a chance with a base hit to tie the game, and a timeout called.
Yeah, to go back to that steal of home right there, as a catcher, you have a checklist. You catch the ball, you always have to peek at the runner. You got to keep him honest, then you deliver the ball back to the pitcher. When you fall into that pattern of just catching it, maybe going back to your knees, lobbing it to the pitcher, a very smart and aggressive base runner will catch on to that. And as he's been over there longer, he starts to time it up, and then it just takes a lot of courage to say, hey, I'm going to go for it.
This is outside, ball 4. They're at first and third. And I think we saw it with Nolan Scott, the Florida catcher there. At least a few times in a row, he had lofted it back to the pitcher, remaining on his knees, which makes it obviously more difficult, too, to pop up and get into an athletic position where you can receive it and apply the tag.
Yeah, so watch the catcher right here. He doesn't really ever peek at him. He stays on his knees right here. The runner at third base has been over there for several pitches. He's starting to kind of get the timing and the rhythm of what the catcher's doing. Once again, you got to be very courageous to kind of make that. But notice how he never goes back. His eyes are focused on him. As soon as he makes that decision to swing his arm, he knows he's committed, throwing back to the pitcher right there. You know, from a catching standpoint, much like a pitching standpoint, you can't fall.
11th batter in the order for California is Hayden Johnson. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Goss delivers it high for ball one. No throw for Vu, who moves from first to second.
That's a big 90 feet right there. Base hit to the outfield. Probably scores 2 runs.
This is inside. Now 3-0. And a timeout behind the plate. I think Scott might have gotten some dirt that flew up in his eye. Give him a moment to figure that out. Three and 0. First base is unoccupied. And there's the first strike.
See the adjustment right there by the catcher. There are certain things that happen on a baseball field that you've never seen or never experienced, and it's really important that you learn from those things. Now every time he's catching the ball, he's taking a peek at that runner at third base.
Strike 2.
And that's all you can ask for at this
Scott
age.
up to, noticeably up to his feet, looking at the runner at third before giving it back to the pitcher.
That's all you can ask for at this age. You continue to learn, you continue to make adjustments.
Fought off foul, and Johnson retains the full count.
Secondary, go score!
3-2 again. Again, a foul ball.
Tremendous at bat right there, fighting off a couple tough pitches. This seems like a really, really important pitch and a really important at bat. Early in this game, it was kind of all Florida. I feel like the momentum is starting to flip back to California.
Close take, but it's ball 4, and a throw back to the runner at second, skips into center field. Solomon scores. And it's tied at 4.
You know what, right there you can't blame the catcher for what he saw with his eyes. I think the runner at second base potentially forgot that there was not a runner behind him. It looked like he was kind of just on his way to third base, like the walk was going to advance him. The catcher just didn't execute a really good throw, but if he makes a good throw right there, that runner is out by a ton.
Yeah.
And I know it's probably, the coach is probably out there asking the catcher, why'd you throw behind the runner? There's a runner at third base. I don't think he saw what he saw. The fact that we have the luxury of the replay, we saw it. He made the right decision. He just didn't make a great throw right there.
Four to 4 game here in the top of the 5th inning. Consecutive walks drawn with 2 outs for California, and Wes Cook on the first pitch lines it into center field. It's down for a hit. Great effort by Mirabella, who comes up throwing home, not in time.
I mean, just a really nice piece of hitting right here. Getting this curveball, hitting the solid line drive right up the middle. Mirabel makes a tremendous effort in center field. Doesn't come up with it. I don't even think if he catches it. I think it would have short hopped his glove anyway. Recovers and throws an absolute strike from center field. Bang, bang play at home. California now up 5-4.
And back to the top of their order with Bradley Gunyon making his 3rd plate appearance. 1 for 2, a single and a run scored his last time up. That was in the 4th.
And sometimes you think about a big hit or like a home run kind of changes the feel in the dugout or the momentum. Let's go back to that steal of home right now. He just fired up his entire team, the fan base that came to watch him play today, really kind of flipped the script on this game.
Late swing makes it 2-2.
If you're Florida right now, you just got to dig deep. You got to find a way to get out right now. Things have gotten out of hand, but this game is still really close. You got to find a way to get an out right here.
4 runs in this 5th for California, and a foul ball fought off with 2 strikes. Another line drive is down in right center field. Gunyon holds up at second. The throw home. It drives in 2, and California is up to 6 runs in the frame.
Momentum is real. The bats have woken up a little bit late in this game. A little bit different than we thought. California kind of being the host team. We thought they'd come out swinging the bats, but they just stayed with the process. 6 runs in this inning. Tremendous piece of hitting right here. Staying behind this breaking ball, driving it out to right center field. And a really good job by this trail runner at first base. Not thinking that they're stopping at third base. The whole way he's running, there's a slight bobble there in center field, which allows this base runner to
and an intentional walk will put Bennett Humphreys at first base. So now they're at first and second.
Yeah, great secondary by this runner at first base right here. And look, he never breaks stride. Your job as a base runner is you know you're going to get to third base. He's eyes up looking at his third base coach, never breaks stride, and is able to score pretty easily on a ball that doesn't even get to the fence.
Called strike on the first pitch to Charlie Muir. 1 for 2, a single his last time up in the 4th. This top of the 5th has completely changed this game. Reaching swing and miss, 0-2.
Once again, if you're Florida, this game is still within reach. You got to find a way, get out of this inning. No more runs can score. Pitcher on the mound's got to execute and pitch right here. That's a moment he'll remember for the rest of his life.
Chico Anderson leads off for Florida. And a stoppage in play already is maybe an equipment issue. Want to see some girls with game? Tune in to yet another exciting summer of softball and visit littleleaguesoftball.org for great content, info about starting a softball league, and much more. Again, that's littleleaguesoftball.org. I could be wrong, Kevin, but I think that was another issue with pitch communication technology. Swing and a miss. Anderson out in front of the first offer.
I get at this age, you're getting close to like the next level, and that's what the guys at the very top use, but I'm still kind of a traditionalist. I like seeing them put down their signs. It's a big part of the game. It was a big part of my development. You know, learning how to gain a little bit of edge. When I was a base runner, I would look for things that the catcher was doing. I'd try to see his signs. Was he throwing a curveball? Good time to run. It's just part of the game, and it's not as important anymore because everyone is using PitchCom, but I would like to see them kind of call their own game, use their fingers. As they get a little bit older, maybe you go to that PitchCom.
0-2, poked at, and down in left field. Leadoff single for Anderson.
That's exactly what Florida needed right there. Falling down 0-2 in the count right there. The momentum has completely switched to California's side. fact that he can just kind of reach out there, poke one over the shortstop's head, get a leadoff guy on, just tremendous back control right here. That's a really good pitch by the pitcher right there.
And Anderson is picked off subsequently. So that is the first out. And it erases the leadoff single. Now back by Nolan Scott, it's 0-1.
Yeah, as you get older, you understand where you're at in the game. 5th inning, you only got 9 outs left. You're not going anywhere. That's just really good timing by the pitcher right there. He catches him in between steps. His momentum is taking him towards second base.
Scott lifts it into left field, diving effort, and the catch is made. Caleb Competente hasn't even been playing in the field for the entirety of this game. He's been moved in and out, as he started as one of the extra hitters.
Love to see it. Going from extra hitter to left field, makes a tremendous play right there. Lays out, scoops it right off the grass. What a play by the left fielder.
So now 2 away, and Bree Bitts fouls off the first pitch she sees.
There's always this debate, is momentum real in baseball? And I think what we're witnessing right now is momentum completely going from the Florida side to the California side. Seemed like early in the game, Florida could do no wrong. California couldn't really get anything going offensively. Then you have a great play, steal a home, momentum kind of goes back to the California side, and it just seems like everyone is just playing at a different level right now.
And Muir throws one inside. That's after 11 straight pitches delivered in the strike zone since he entered in the last inning.
You want to know why we're seeing tremendous plays by the fielders. When your pitcher is throwing 11 consecutive strikes and is in the zone.
Make the play on, she didn't have a throw. It's a swing and a miss. 0-2 as Asher Morales is beginning his outing on the mound for Florida. Left it upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Into the air, down the right field line, and just foul. It stays 2-2. Now a full count. This will be pitch number 8 thrown to Cooper Sullivan.
There's been a tremendous at-bat. Pitcher and hitter. These two are just competing, going back and forth.
And Morales goes right back to it. Fouled away by Sullivan.
I can't think who comes to mind, but Morales reminds me of someone on the mound. The way he kind of moves his feet.
Rocking back and forth.
Yeah, he kind of like a little bit like a bulldog out there. Like he's not scared of anything. Hitter's not shying away from this competition either.
Sullivan pokes it into the air, right field, and it's down for a hit. He takes off for second, and he's in with ease with the hustle play.
I feel like that was just so fitting for that at-bat. Neither one of them gave an inch. Really well executed pitch right there, but just a tremendous job putting this ball in play, doing whatever he's got to do, and an extraordinary read right here at first base. Right fielder comes up, a little lackadaisical on it, He never breaks stride rounding first base. When you're a batter runner, when you're a base runner, you're always thinking the next base. The defense has to make you stop. In that scenario, the defender didn't make him stop, so he went ahead and turned, a blooper into a double.
And I think it could be easy to assume that a shortstop is going to know your role in covering the bag there, but the second baseman went out to try to make that play too. So maybe there was a little bit of a delay for somebody getting to the bag. Here's Bryce Denish. A single, hit by a pitch, came around to score his last time by stealing home. Big swipe at it, can't connect, it's 1-1.
Very interesting. Said his favorite subject in school is math. He definitely knew the equation over there at third base when he took that gamble going home.
You think his mind is working in ways where he kind of like ran the numbers? He's like, what are the odds that I'm going to be able to pull this off?
He ran the numbers. He knew.
One and two from Morales, blistered up the middle. Denish with an RBI single extends the California lead.
We've just seen the hustle plays by California be the biggest difference in the game. If he doesn't go to second base on that ball hit down the right field line, we're probably talking first and second, no run scored. The fact that he comes out of the box hard, gets himself into scoring position, allows his teammate to just have a nice easy swing up the middle, drives in the 8th run of the game.
Denish takes off for second, no throw, he is safe. Florida well aware of the impact he can make on the base paths. One and 0 to Jackson Manos. He lays off on it in the dirt.
So one thing I've been seeing from the pitchers, they've been doing a good job throwing over to the base, and then it feels like they just go quicker to home plate. The best thing to do as a pitcher which throws a base runner off is if you can hold that ball on the mound for a long time, the runner gets a little bit impatient, the legs get a little bit heavy, he tips his hand a little bit more. Exactly what he's doing right here.
Long wait before the pitch for Morales. It's outside.
It is really hard to steal a base, and I'm someone that's game was predicated on trying to steal bases.
Yep.
When the pitcher held the ball on the mound, one, I would tip my hand, two, my legs would get a little bit heavy, I get a little bit antsy.
Breaking ball misses for ball 4. They're at first and second with one away.
When as a base runner, I'm staring at you, I'm staring at my body. When that moves, I know it's time to go.
Yep.
And I'm staring at it very hard. I'm trying to see just a little flinch, right? But the longer you hold, I start blinking, I start kind of a little bit, it becomes a little bit more to time you up. When you go quick, it's easy. I see that first move, I go.
Hit by the pitch. Competente heads to first, now loaded for California.
Hey, who made last out?
And that's 4 in a row. Sounds like they're going to potentially put a courtesy runner somewhere for California. I heard coaches asking who made the last out. That was the leadoff hitter, Ethan Lee, so we'll see if he comes out to run in place of Manos, the catcher, who's at second.
You saw this coming, or we saw this coming, the way the game started.
Well, for sure not. I mean, Mirabella on the mound for Florida was dominant. Florida scored 3 in the first inning offensively. You get off to a start like that,
And once again, that comes into the strategy too. You obviously want Mirabella to pitch later again and soon in this tournament, but you can't guarantee anything in this tournament. I think that's a move where, you're up 3-0, you're feeling pretty confident about the guys coming behind, but he was in just such a good rhythm. But you can't go back.
Well,
You got to trust all the guys on your roster. It's just California just kind of weathered that storm early in the game, and they've just continued to just gain some momentum and build on it and just have one more little hustle play that's allowed them to come back in this game.
0-1 after the Solomon foul ball. You said it earlier too regarding Mirabella that three runs was not a lot at the time, right? And it was going to depend on what they did offensively. 1 and 2, and again, we've seen some very crooked numbers through not even 2 full games today. Strike 3 called. Solomon retired, and now it's 2 down.
It's hard at this age to understand that, to your point, crooked numbers are out there. Florida did a really good job of getting the leadoff guy on. He gets picked off. They were a pitch away from having first and second in that inning. Tremendous play by the left fielder, gets him out, gets a second out of that inning, but crooked numbers are out there. It's really hard at.
Lays off, 2-0.
If you're Florida, you have to understand you got 5 outs left in this game. You got to just continue to have good at bats. No one needs to be a hero in this situation. Just try to get the next guy up.
Now 3-0, second plate appearance for Howard. And a ball 4. So suddenly, Muir, who we talked about earlier, his first 11 pitches of his outing were in the strike zone. He's seemingly lost it a little bit. And has the ball taken from him, so that'll be his day. Also important.
Exciting. I'm thinking as a player, also as a coach, I'm like anticipating what's going next, and then next thing you know, I'm like 4 batters behind, and I say, forget it.
I'll handle the particulars of what happened and what didn't happen. That's fine. You get lost in the game and talk ball. That's fine. That's good. Ball 4 misses well high. So consecutive walks there at first and second for Florida.
That's exactly what Florida needs to do. Once again, we don't need a big swing of the bat. Just keep trying to get the next guy up. Keep trying to get the next guy up. You got 5 outs remaining in this game. This game is far from over. We've seen crooked numbers put up in an event like this over and over again. Just keep having good at bats.
It's back to the top of the order, by the way. Trey Halaska. One for 2, led the game off with a single and scored the first of 3 runs in the first inning for Florida. They've plated 1 since then. Now 2-0. Three and nothing. All 4 bases loaded on 3 consecutive walks. And it brings up Roman Mirabella.
It's a really tough place to be as a pitcher. It's a very lonely spot out there. When you can't find the strike zone, there's no magical thing you can do out there. Sometimes you just don't have a good feel for where the ball's coming out. This is a really good visit by the coach right here. Kind of calm him down, there's only so much mechanical things you can really talk to him about out there.
Or make a change.
Or make a change.
Wow. All right. So a new pitcher will enter for California. Bases. Big opportunity for Florida with the tying run at the plate. 8-4, bottom sixth. Roman Mirabella with the bases loaded, facing the new California pitcher, Bryce Deniche, who we've seen make a huge impact on this game in other ways. And he finds the strike zone with his first. Mirabella takes low, 1-1.
Really important once again for Florida. You're now the tying runner in the box. You don't have to change your approach. Just keep trying to get the next guy up. You know, it's easy to want to go into this hero mode and say, if I hit a home run right here, the game's tied. And from a California standpoint, when you're on the mound right now, you understand right now the guy in the box is the most important guy. Just continue to throw strikes. The guy at third base scores. If you give up a sac fly, no damage is done. Just continue to pound the zone. Trust your teammates behind you.
Nice pitch for strike two.
That's a really well executed pitch. He's got that lower slot. He's starting this breaking ball outside of the strike zone, and it's coming back and hitting the corner. Really tough pitch to pull the trigger on.
1-2. Mirabella lofts it into left field, but it curls foul.
I love seeing the adjustments even at this age. It's a very similar pitch that he took for the first pitch of the at-bat. He took it for the second strike. Knowing he has two strikes, he has to expand a little bit off the plate. Really well executed pitch and a really good job by the batter fighting off a tough pitch.
Deniche another with two strikes. Wave and a miss. 2 down.
That's the art of pitching right there. You throw some backdoor curveballs, get him leaning out over the plate, then you come back with a well-executed fastball in tight on his body. Hitter's just a little bit late.
Two down with the bases still loaded. Anthony Cruz. A healthy cut at the first. It's 0-1. Like Mirabella, he hit an RBI double back in the first inning. Big swipe at it, 2 strikes against him.
Two well-executed pitches right there. Starts him off with that sweeper slider, then goes with the fastball upstairs. He has his whole arsenal.
0-2, he gets Cruz reaching to foul it away.
Yeah, when you've come in out of center field, you're throwing a ton of strikes. You have the ability to throw your slider fastball. You have the hitter 0-2. You can use any pitch at any location right now.
And Cruz rips it into right. 1 run is across. They'll hold it there. An RBI single for Cruz, who is now the tying runner at first. Egg for California in the 7th. And that is going to make the count 1-0. Too much rocking back and forth and stepping off a couple of times. Now a bouncer to shortstop. Slow developing, long throw. Bounces away. And Hayden Johnson, the leadoff batter, reaches safely for California.
Feels like about since the 4th inning, the bounces are just going California's way. And right here, this is a really tough play for the shortstop. The high chopper, he really only has one play. He has to kind of go back to get the hop. Long throw. Would have taken a perfect throw to get him out at first base.
And the very next pitch escapes the catcher. So Johnson to second. Here's another look at that play by Halaska, the shortstop.
Yeah, see, his initial read, he wanted to go get it, but see how high that ball bounced? If he comes in to get that ball, it bounces over his head. His only play is to go deep. He ends up making a really good throw there with some really good carry.
Runner in scoring position. Breaker drops into the strike zone. Third plate appearance for Wes Cook. He had an RBI single, a big one his last time up as part of that 6-run fifth. Now 2-2.
Hey, nothing up. Expect it again. Here we go. Shorten up, boss.
Swing and a miss. Went reaching for it outside, and that's strike 3.
Yeah, really good job. It looks like he has the ability to throw this curveball right over the top to get strikes, and then he has that little more horizontal sweep to it to get the batter to chase outside of the zone.
Sends it back to the top of the order for California, 57. Couple of hits on the day for Bradley Gunyon. Looks at the first for strike 1.
There's that little more 12-6 curveball that he can land in the zone. It's very difficult when a pitcher has the ability to throw that curveball in the zone and then change the shape to get chase outside of the zone.
Gunyon swings and misses. One of 3 California players with multiple hits so far in this game.
Hard.
0-2 bounces away from Scott. And now Johnson, the runner, moves to third.
Hey, play the game. Come on, Gunny.
Great effort by the catcher right there. Sometimes when the ball is thrown so far in front of home plate, there's only so much you can do. He does a great job getting a chest protector on it.
Oh, boy, good take. Hey, big run right here, boys. Come on.
Now 2-2. And it goes foul. Take 2. Hits the batter, and Gunyon is granted first base.
Did you hear the dad over there?
Something about way to get ready for football season.
Yeah. He said, you're getting ready for football season, way to wear it. That just reminds me of my own dad. That's something he would have said to me.
Right. So they're at first and third now for California, who is trying to win today and advance to play the other California team, the other local team, whose home, Granada Little League, is right here at Max Bear Park.
The home team, but not the host team. And if that happens, we'll get into it tomorrow. But
we will.
There's a host team, and then there's a team that actually plays here. But they're both here, and they had both played before.
Correct. Here. They had played here before.
Here.
It's a whole thing. Like I said, if it happens,
we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. So Florida with a new pitcher taking the mound. It's Chase Eichhorn. So District 57 was won by Bollinger Canyon. That's the California team you are currently watching, right? So that is very nearby in San Ramon, California. The West region following that district championship was won by Granada, who plays right here and is in Livermore, who lost to Bollinger Canyon in the District 57 championship game, which would have secured an automatic bid